God bless America. Hello, everybody. I am the Talk Radio Protege. This is the Protege program. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all are having a splendid day, a splendid week, and a splendid 2018. I trust that things are going to continue to go well in spite of some of the news that we have been seeing lately, like today's story, for instance. The story of the day has been at the top of the Drudge Report all day long. People on Fox News have been covering it throughout the day. As we're going to see, this thing is big. It's continuing to get bigger, where every new revelation seems to give new credence to the labeling of this instance as Obama's Watergate. I said it all the way back in October of 2017, back on October 25th. I'm still saying it today. I have not been convinced yet that this is not at least as big as Watergate, if not bigger. So from today, yesterday evening, afternoon sometime, Senators, I wrote their names down, Representatives John Ratcliffe and Tom Cotton appeared on Fox News to comment on some of the text messages that they've been reading that Peter Strzok and his mistress, I don't remember her first name, somebody Page, were sending back and forth that seemed to hint at a secret society that existed within Obama's FBI, perhaps even in Obama's Department of Justice, that were conspiring to stop the Trump presidency, perhaps even to stop Trump from assuming the presidency in the first place. Secret society are words that Representative Ratcliffe himself used, and apparently many of these messages are missing. The three House committees released a statement. Let's go ahead and go to the story that has that line. These three committees, where are they? Oh, maybe it's even more. Okay, so these three committee chairmen voiced their concerns about political bias within the FBI and the DOJ under President Obama. Apparently, even more committees are making a request to the current DOJ for those text messages from all the way back to July 1st, 2015. And apparently 5 months worth of messages from January of 2017 until May of 2017 are just missing. Nobody apparently knows where they are. They've been deleted. They weren't backed up. Apparently FBI cell phones hook up to the FBI server, and everything that happens on that cell phone is automatically backed up. But for some reason, the cell phones used by Strzok and Lisa Page, there we go, were not hooked up to this FBI server, and therefore those text messages have been successfully, as far as we know, deleted by Page and Strzok and are lost in the ether. It remains to be seen whether or not we will ever see what were sent in those messages. And it's because these messages are missing that the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, has launched a probe into how this has happened to see if those messages can be recovered. But what so far about this story speaks the loudest to me is the admission by Peter Strzok, allegedly in one of the messages, that there is nothing to the Russia investigation. The message in question is alleged to say, "You and I," that is Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, "both know the odds are nothing. If I thought it was likely, there'd be no question. I hesitate in part because of my gut sense and concern that there's no big there." Apparently this message was read aloud on May 19th, 2017 by Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson. Let's see if they have a date in here for when that message was sent. It appears like they don't have a date in there for us. We do have a tweet from this Jay Weber. Is this just the fellow who has the radio story? In any case, if this is true, if it's true that Peter Strzok thought there was nothing to the Russia investigation, then this is just further proof. Apparently, this was days before the Russia investigation, or before Strzok joined the Russia investigation, and days after it had began. And if this is true, if one of the people that desperately did not want Donald Trump to be the president, who wanted some way to force Trump from the presidency, says that there's nothing to an FBI investigation into the president to see if he cheated, an investigation that the end goal is assuming the eviction of Donald Trump from the presidency, if that kind of person doesn't think there's anything to this investigation, then how on earth could there possibly be anything of substance that we could legitimately remove the president from? And we're beginning to get to the point where more mainstream news sources than myself are calling this Watergate. One particular opinion writer from Fox News says that this is worse, in fact, than Watergate, and he contrasts Nixon's secretary, Rosemary Woods, erasing 18 minutes of tape recording. He contrasts that with the FBI mysteriously failing to preserve 5 months of text messages, and expects the American public to believe it was a random mistake. And even with all of this, all of these things coming together, beginning to be revealed, more and more evidence piling up that this is not an accident, that the Russia investigation is a scam against the current president. Look what left-leaning news sources like CNN decide to talk about. Well, obviously this is a news item. Schumer takes money for Wall off the table. But it's like I said way back when we first started talking about making deals with Democrats. When you make a deal with the left, you're going to get nothing. So it surprises me not that Schumer would take money for the Wall off the table. What else did they decide to report on? Oh, apparently there's a mystery poll where Trump trails Biden and Oprah, of all people. 2 killed in Kentucky school shooting. No doubt that's an important news item. Did they say anything about these text messages that are being revealed? Not seeing it so far, it appears this is not the case. It appears that CNN doesn't think that these text messages are anything of importance to report on. The closest thing that they get to touching these text messages are that Comey and Sessions were questioned in the Russia probe. The Russia probe that so far, after more than 400 days of digging, there is still nothing of evidence. Let's go over and check on MSNBC. Well, they're quoting Vice President Pence. The shutdown was unnecessary. Rachel Maddow, somehow one of the most trusted faces and names in news to the left, wants to talk about the opioid deadline. Random paid post. We got more immigration talks from the Now, what did I just say in yesterday's video? That it was fair to say that the Democrats held the government hostage over over illegal immigrants. And now we have GOP politicians saying it's fair to call Democrats political terrorists. More on the Russia probe, because that's the big thing that the left wants to talk about. Trump, nobody knows for sure when DACA deal will come. Joe, in the end, shutdown was a phony war. Nothing on the text messages. Absolutely nothing. The left media feels no need to report on one of the biggest political scandals in the history of the United States of America. The President of the United States using the Department of Justice and the FBI to criminally investigate, with no basis in reality, a political opponent. This is big, and it's not being talked about. You're not going to hear from it unless you hear it from right-wing media outlets, or even right-leaning media outlets like Fox News, but you are going to hear it on this program, so make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. You won't want to miss a single video. We're going to continue covering this. This is the only thing that touches the Russia investigation that I care to talk about, because this is real stuff. These are things for which there is evidence. 50,000 text messages, people, documenting the political bias of a person that would come to investigate the president on the Russia garbage. This is where the stuff is getting real. Real action taken by a president's administration against his political opponent. This is not fake news. This is really happening, and the left media is totally ignoring it. So you won't want to miss it. Make sure that you come back. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me. Good night, and God bless.